the individual themselves first is the first line. So people would, okay, yeah. And then secondly, the duty barriers. Duty barriers, I'm talking about those who are appointed into authority, into positions to serve the masses, to serve population are the ones. But then it has to be, the whole entire effort has to be monitored or held by the independent national commissions of each member countries. They need to hold it and they need to keep interpreting it. They need to raise awareness within the population, even though their work can also be complemented by some other civil society organization that can continue to raise the awareness. So awareness within the population could be one, so that people know when and how to protect themselves. Then if it happens, if they become, if it is perpetrated against them, we need to be having community, state level actors that can also respond, and the higher one needs to come from the Independent National Human Rights Commission. And then from there, we have other, the judicial system also needs to be another way around. And then there should always be different levels of redress. Yeah, and very much functional. Because sometimes one level, sometimes will not look at what happened to you, and you try to maybe lodge complaint. If it is not adequately responded to, you need to have the opportunity to seek redress at another higher level. And all these levels need to be very much effective. So when there's a breaking in one, then there's a problem right there. Sometimes people are deprived of their rights as a result of mechanisms that are put in place in that way. Then they engage the state. So when there's a lot of information coming out of a specific area on the continent, like a country, so the commission's attention is then drawn to that area. Then they try to actually follow that up and then try to confirm the validity of that information that is coming from there. And then they try to engage that state. Even though this is not, because there's also some challenge in terms of being a toothless bulldog, wherein they respond to the implementation or the way they engage the state and the member state. Some has really not been that effective, and or it takes the time it takes for them to respond has also been very slow. And sometimes the human rights situation is very much emergent that need rapid response, but sometimes it don't come up in that way. But the commission actually engages them. And where I've been seeing it to be very much effective is sometimes even we civil society actors, when we engage our respective governments about issues of human rights and they are not responding, sometimes it's good if we share it here and then our country become more serious and take it very serious if it comes from this. So it's an indirect way. So the civil society organization engages the state, the government, but it is not listening to. But if you find a way and share that information with the commission here, and the commissions respond to the state, sometimes it's taken more serious. My recommendation is support to civil society, and that has to do with civil society are the watchdog of society. Yeah. So wherever they are, they need to be capacitated in such a way that they can be able to complement the work of the AU or even the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. Yeah. By capacity, I means getting the requisite skills and knowledge in a way to watch on human rights situation and report them in an accurate manner. Because this is how the clear picture, the whole thing is just in the interest of the masses. So one is the capacity of the civil society organization. Secondly, we need to also be a little bit robust. The whole entire member countries, they are not actually paying their dues. Yeah, and this is also retiring the effort of the commission to some extent. Sometimes the commission even try to depend on international donors, like the EU or the Western countries. This is, for me, I see it as a shame. The member countries supposed to support its own organs here to be effective, and not for the organ to be depending on outsiders. This is one way that is making it very much ineffective. Yeah, and for every donor, any external donor, they too have their own interests. You see, so the interest of Africa is one, yes, but then the external donor will also have their own interests. So I'm also encouraging member countries to regularly be paying a due, and not only paying a due, let them serve the commission with more information in terms of what's happening, then the commission will be able to wear it out, and it will be very much effective towards that. Yeah.